Big news today. We're recording this Sunday night, February 28th. Arik Gilbert announces on Twitter he is decommitting from the University of Florida. He is opening up his recruitment, and he will not announce what school he's at until he's enrolled at that university. So it looks like this one is a long way from being over. Probably won't know this one until June at the earliest, unless something leaks out.
Yep.
But Daniel, what does this mean for Florida? And what do you think are some potential landing spots for Arik Gilbert?
Yeah, so first with Florida, I do think that this impacts them heavily. Usually if it's just a transfer, most of the time it's not a big deal. Florida has been banking on these transfers to provide big time boost to their, to their depth chart. Like they are on, they're on the field. So this is big news because they haven't really recruited at an elite level from high school. So they've been doing a lot of this transfer stuff. Kyle Pitts is out. It was looking perfect to just plug Arik Gilbert into that role. It was going to be a new quarterback, but honestly, the biggest weapon on this team was going to be Arik Gilbert, or Arik Gilbert. Anyways, it's Arik Gilbert. All right. It's so tempting to say Arik, but anyways, Florida, I think that it's a huge blow because it's potentially your best player on your team not going to be there. So I know that they never had him to lose him, but now this just makes that Pitts loss even greater and that Pitts size hole in the offense huge. As for potential landing spots, his finalists were Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama outside of LSU. He had initially said when he was transferring they wanted to come back home. The closest proximity would be University of Georgia, but Alabama is much closer than LSU to home, and obviously he had committed to Florida. So if that's kind of the distance we're working with, all of those are within striking distance. And someone that recruited him, but Dabo kind of has his process with how he recruits. He's very above board. If anyone's clean in the recruiting game, it's Dabo. So that's someone I would keep an eye on. I haven't heard anything. I haven't read anything, but I could just envision him in that offense being explosive. And you talk about being close to home. Clemson's not too far either. So, that could be something there. But I think the two teams right now, if you had to handicap it, it'd be Georgia and Alabama probably have the greatest shot to land him.
It'd be just like Alabama to just grab Arik Gilbert, wouldn't it?
Right. After the greatest class in the history of anybody, they beat themselves for the greatest class, and then bring in a guy who they missed on a couple years ago. That'd be ultimate. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Nick Saban's always good about, I don't know how he figures out scholarship numbers, but somehow he ends up getting to 85 by the start of the season.
Right.
If they go out and get Henry To'oTo'o and Arik Gilbert in the transfer portal after signing the number one class of all time, I mean, the rich get richer. And Nick Saban, honestly, is doing the best he's ever done in his career. Anyway, but
one final thing I'll say, sorry to cut you off. Tennessee being in that final bit, obviously we know that they have a lot of clout around them. Like what's going on, this cloud is hanging over them for what the sanctions may or may not be, them firing all these coaches. If it's not too crazy, that's still a potential landing spot because his high school quarterback, Harrison Bailey, is at Tennessee. They've got an offensive coach. So it is closer to home than LSU was. So I would hate to discount them if we get news on what is going on at Tennessee before this summer. You could see some move be made, but I would still put that one on the back burner.
So Florida loses him. Big loss for Florida. Like you said, to be counting on these guys in the transfer portal and to lose them, big deal. And some schools still going to get a really good player in Arik Gilbert. You're talking, one of the top ranked players coming out of high school, was the top transfer available this year. So some schools going to get a gem in Arik Gilbert. And, from how it looks like Alabama and Georgia would be top two landing spots, but who knows? He might just decide that, hey, I'm okay being away from home now, and go to Iowa State. You know, just there's no rumors there.